The wind howled across the empty road as Travis Kane guided his old pickup truck through the driving rain. His daughter Ellie snored softly in the back seat, curled up in her car seat with her teddy bear tucked under one arm. The storm had come faster than expected, and the visibility was terrible. Travis just wanted to get home, warm Ellie up, and wrap the day behind him like a worn-out blanket. That's when he saw her. Standing alone at the bus stop, drenched from head to toe, was a woman in uniform. Her duffel bag sat beside her, like dead weight. Her shoulders were rigid. Her face was blank. She looked like she hadn't slept in days and hadn't belonged anywhere in even longer. Asterisk. Travis passed her. And then something in his gut pulled tight. He slowed the truck, stared into the rearview mirror, and whispered to himself, "That's someone's daughter, someone's mom, someone's soldier." He made a U-turn. Asterisk, she didn't react when the truck pulled up beside her, didn't flinch when the window rolled down. She just stared into the dark, like she was searching for something too far to reach. Asterisk, you okay, ma'am? Travis asked gently. Asterisk, I'm fine, she answered. Her voice was hoarse, brittle. Asterisk, I'm headed into town. You need a ride somewhere? Asterisk, she didn't look at him at first. But then her eyes met his, and he saw it exhaustion, defeat, and something deeper. Loneliness. You don't know me, she said. I didn't need to, Travis replied. I've been where you are. Come on, the heater works most of the time, and I've got a kid who makes a mean mug of cocoa. Asterisk, she looked at the truck, then at the back seat, where Ellie stirred in her sleep. Her guard dropped just enough to nod. Her name was Sergeant Jordan Hale. She'd returned from her final deployment 2 weeks earlier. No home to return to, no family willing to pick her up. Her brother had stopped answering years ago. Her mother had passed. Her fiancé had left her mid-deployment with nothing but a letter and a canceled engagement ring. Asterisk, I was supposed to get on a bus tonight, she said quietly, clutching the thermos Travis handed her. But I missed it. Asterisk, you didn't miss it, Travis said. You just got rerouted. Asterisk Ellie, now awake, looked up at Jordan sleepily and smiled. Are you a superhero? Asterisk. Jordan smiled for the first time in days. Something like that. Back at Travis's modest 2-bedroom farmhouse, the lights were warm, the blankets were soft, and the welcome was real. Jordan protested when he offered her the couch. She didn't want to impose, but Travis insisted, asterisk, no one who serves. This country should ever have to beg for shelter, he said. Asterisk, that night she stared at the ceiling, unable to sleep. The house was too quiet, too safe. Her body was used to alarms, sandstorms, and adrenaline. Now, with only the ticking of an old clock and the soft breathing of a child, she didn't know what to do with herself. She cried silently. Asterisk, in the morning, Jordan tried to leave before they woke up. Travis was already making pancakes, and Ellie was waiting at the table with her bear. Asterisk, where are you off to? He asked casually. Asterisk, I need to find a shelter. Place to asterisk stay, Ellie interrupted. Daddy says you're a hero. Jordan paused. I can't impose. She whispered. Asterisk, you already fixed the leaky faucet. Travis grinned. That puts you ahead of half the roommates I've had, Jordan laughed, the sound foreign in her mouth. Stay, he said again. For now, days passed. Then weeks. Asterisk Jordan became more than a guest. She became part of the routine. She walked Ellie to school, helped with dinner, fixed things around the house no one else could. She wasn't trying to replace anyone. She wasn't trying to forget. She was just trying to feel useful again. Travis watched her. He saw how she flinched when thunder cracked, how she sat rigid through fireworks on the TV, how she stared at old photos when she thought no one was looking. Asterisk, and he understood, because he had his own ghosts. Travis had lost his wife, Kayla, to a drunk driver 2 years ago. One moment she was planning Ellie's birthday party, the next he was a widower with a toddler and a life flipped upside down. Asterisk grief had no manual. Travis learned the rhythm. One diaper, one prayer, one day at a time. Asterisk, and now watching Jordan heal piece by piece. He recognized the same battle. He didn't push. He just gave her space, patience, and cocoa. but healing is never clean. Asterisk one night, Ellie spilled hot soup on the floor. The crash echoed like an explosion. Jordan dropped to her knees, arms over her head, shaking uncontrollably. Asterisk Travis rushed to her, whispering, "You're safe. You're home." Asterisk. Ellie wrapped her arms around Jordan's back and whispered, "It's okay, superhero. I get scared too." Jordan broke down, and in that breakdown something released. The next morning, she didn't hide. Asterisk, she sat with Travis and told him everything about the ambush that killed her closest friend. The time she almost didn't come back. The guilt, the insomnia, the nightmares. Travis didn't interrupt. He just listened. Asterisk, when she finished, she asked, "You still want me here?" He smiled. "I never wanted you gone." Months passed. Asterisk Jordan got a job at the local repair shop. She taught Ellie how to ride a bike, helped Travis repaint the living room, and built a raised garden in the backyard. Asterisk, the three of them found a rhythm. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest. Asterisk, and in that honesty, love grew not. Romantic at first, but deep, steady, real. Asterisk. Then one evening, Ellie came home with a drawing. Asterisk, it was a house, with 3 stick figures, a man, a little girl, and a woman. In uniform holding hands, asterisk underneath it said, "My family." Jordan stared at the paper for a long time, and then she cried again, but this time, from joy. Travis waited until the porch lights dimmed and Ellie had gone to bed before speaking. Asterisk, you don't have to leave when your apartment opens up. Asterisk Jordan looked at him. "You offering me a room?" Asterisk. He shook his head. "I'm offering you a life." She didn't answer. She just kissed him. 1 year later, under a quiet sky and in front of a small group of friends, Travis and Jordan got married in the backyard, barefoot, simple, and perfect. Ellie stood between them as they exchanged vows. "I promise to protect this home," Jordan whispered. Asterisk, "and I promise to always turn the truck around." Travis smiled. Final message: some heroes wear uniforms, others wear grief like armor and still choose to love again. And sometimes, the greatest rescue isn't found in a battlefield. It's found in a home on a rainy night, at a bus stop where one man saw a stranger and said, "You're coming with me." Asterisk, a year had passed since the backyard vows, since Jordan Hale, once a stranger in the rain, became not only Travis's partner, but Ellie's second anchor in the storm. Their life now wasn't a fairy tale, but it was something better. Asterisk, it was real, but even real life has shadows. Jordan's nightmares had lessened, but some nights she still sat on the edge of the bed, breathing hard, staring into the dark. Asterisk Travis would wake silently, walk over, and sit beside her. He never asked what she'd seen in her sleep. He already knew. Asterisk instead. He'd place her hand on his heartbeat and whisper, "You're not there anymore. You're here. With me. With us." And slowly she'd return. To the room, to herself, to them. Asterisk meanwhile, Ellie grew. Asterisk, she had her mom's curls and her dad's stubborn streak, and something more, something Jordan had unknowingly given her. Strength. One day at school, another child called Ellie a weirdo for having 2 moms, one dead and one a soldier. Asterisk, Ellie looked him square in the eyes and said, "I've got 1 angel and 1 superhero. How many do you have?" Asterisk, Jordan found out about it from the teacher. She didn't punish Ellie. She bought her ice cream instead. But even happiness, like any garden, needs protection. Asterisk, one afternoon, a letter came in the mail. It was addressed to Jordan, stamped with an official seal. A request. The army wanted her back. Asterisk. She hadn't expected it, hadn't planned for it. Asterisk, but the surge of mixed emotions inside her felt like a wave crashing over everything she'd built. Asterisk. Jordan held the letter in her hands for hours. Asterisk, when Travis came home, She was sitting on the porch, motionless. He read the look in her eyes before he read the paper. "You don't have to explain," he said softly. "I didn't think I'd ever want to go back," she whispered. "But I also didn't think I'd be needed again." "Are you thinking about it?" She nodded slowly. That night they sat on the couch, the house dark except for the lamp beside them. "You've already served more than enough," Travis said. "I know." "But if this is something you have to do, something you feel called to, I won't stop you." Jordan blinked back tears. "I just don't want to lose what we have." "You won't," he whispered. "Is home. It'll still be home when you get back." Ellie didn't fully understand what deployment meant. She understood enough to ask one simple question. "Will you promise to come back?" Jordan knelt and looked her in the eyes. "Promise." 3 weeks later, Jordan left. Again, not broken, not alone, but as a woman filled with purpose and a family waiting. Deployment was different this time. She wasn't just a soldier now. She was a wife, a mother, a woman with roots that stretched beyond the sand. She wrote letters to Ellie even when she was too tired to keep her eyes open. She kept a photo of the three of them in her vest pocket, right over her heart. And Travis? He sent videos of Ellie's piano recitals, pictures of garden tomatoes, and clips of her reciting bedtime stories to the bear Jordan had fixed for her. When the tour was cut short due to injury, not serious, but enough, Jordan returned. Home after 7 months. She arrived late at night, and there they were, waiting at the porch. Travis, holding a thermos of cocoa, Ellie in her pajamas, holding a sign that read, "Welcome home, hero." Jordan didn't cry right away. She dropped her bag, pulled Ellie into her arms, and breathed in the smell of lavender shampoo and hope. Then she looked at Travis. And finally, she cried. This time not from pain or fear or memory. This time from relief, from love, from coming home. They bought a second-hand RV and spent the summer traveling cross-country, just the three of them. Jordan started a non-profit helping homeless female veterans find shelter, jobs, and therapy. She named it the Porchlight Project, because she knew what it meant to be alone in the dark and what it felt like when someone turned the light on. Travis supported every step. And Ellie. She wrote a school essay titled, "My Mom Fought 2 Wars, one in the Army and one in her heart. She won both." Final emotional message. Some people look for heroes in stories, movies, legends. But sometimes heroes stand at a bus stop in the rain, holding pain they don't talk about. And sometimes the greatest rescue is when someone sees them and says, "You're coming with me?" Not because they're broken, but because they deserve to be whole again. The day started like every other cold Monday in early February. Gray skies, bitter wind, and a cup of coffee that had already gone cold before Darren Walsh could take a sip. He was a single dad. A former trucker turned small-town mechanic, a man who'd learned to juggle grief, homework, and car bills while trying to raise 2 kids who asked about their mother more than he could answer. His daughter. Mila was 9 going on 19. Smart, bold, with a protective streak over her younger brother Theo, was 6 and still learning that you can love someone even after they're gone. Their mom had passed 3 years ago, cancer, quick, cruel, and Darren had promised on her hospital bed that he'd never let the kids feel alone. But some days, he felt like he was barely holding it together with duct tape and hope. It was just before sunset when he spotted her, a woman standing alone at the bus stop near Main Street, wearing a military backpack so heavy it leaned her to one side. Her posture was proud, but her eyes were hollow. He almost drove past, almost convinced himself she was waiting on someone. But when the wind picked up and she hunched her shoulders deeper into her coat, Something in him hit the brakes. Asterisk, he rolled. Down the window? Asterisk, ma'am? You okay? Asterisk. She looked startled, as if no one had addressed her in days. Then she nodded, almost mechanically. I'm waiting for the 217. Darren scratched his beard. The 217 doesn't run after 5 on Mondays. Asterisk, she blinked. Guess I missed it then. A long pause. Where you headed? Asterisk. She looked away. I'm not sure anymore. Her name was Sergeant Kara Benson. Honorably discharged, 2 deployments, and a long list of medals she didn't talk about. She had nowhere to go, and not enough in her pocket to pretend she did. Asterisk, Darren didn't ask for her resume. He just saw the shadows under her eyes. It's a type that doesn't come from sleep deprivation, but from memory. Asterisk, you got a place tonight? He asked. Asterisk, no. Asterisk, he nodded. Then come home with us. Asterisk. She stared at him. You don't even know me. Asterisk. You served, he said softly. I don't need to. That night, she sat at their small kitchen table as Mila pestered her with questions. Asterisk, are you a sniper? Did you fly helicopters? Can you fight 10 guys at once? Asterisk, Kara smiled weakly. Only on Tuesdays. Asterisk, Theo brought her a superhero. Cape from his toy box. You can borrow this. You look like you need it. Asterisk, Darren watched her, saw her eyes well up. She didn't say thank you. She just hugged the cape and nodded. The first few days were quiet. Asterisk, Kara didn't talk much. She took her coffee black, rose early, and volunteered to walk the kids too. School asterisk, but every now and then, Darren saw her flinch at loud sounds, or stare into space like she was somewhere else entirely. Asterisk, one night, a car backfired in the alley. Kara dropped to the floor so fast Darren's coffee hit the ceiling. Asterisk. I'm sorry, she gasped. Force of habit.
Asterisk, you're safe,
he said. You don't have to explain. But he knew. War doesn't stop when the uniform comes. Off. Kara tried to leave after a week. Asterisk, I've overstayed, she said, stuffing her pack. Asterisk, you haven't even finished the puzzle with Theo, Darren replied, folding laundry beside her. Asterisk, she looked down. I don't know how to be normal anymore. Asterisk, he shrugged. Good. Normal's overrated. Slowly, she stayed. Asterisk, she taught Mila how to throw a perfect spiral football. She fixed Theo's broken bike. She helped Darren file his overdue taxes and rewired the busted garage light. Asterisk, and in return, they gave her something she hadn't felt in years, belonging. Asterisk, but healing isn't a straight line. Asterisk, one afternoon, Theo brought home a drawing from Skoola, family picture with Mom. Drawn in angel wings, and Kara standing beside them all. She froze when she saw it. I'm not their mom, she whispered. Asterisk, Darren placed a hand on her shoulder. You don't have to be, but they love you. Winter turned to spring. Asterisk, Kara applied for a job as a local school security aide. When asked for her references, Mila had already written one. Asterisk, she makes me feel safe, it said in purple marker. And she's stronger than my dad. Asterisk, Darren read it and laughed. Can't argue with that. One day, Kara finally told Darren what she'd never told anyone else. Asterisk, about the last mission. The ambush. The soldier she couldn't save. Asterisk, I held his hand while he bled out, she said, eyes brimming. He asked me to tell his mom he was brave, and I lied and said I would. Asterisk, you didn't lie, Darren said. You just didn't know how to forgive yourself yet. She cried in his arms that night, and in those tears, she started to heal. Then came the court letter. Asterisk, Darren's landlord was selling the house. They had 60 days to leave. It felt like the world was folding in again. But Kara didn't panic. She made calls, visited offices, looked up loans. Hustled harder than anyone had for this little family. Asterisk, and 3 weeks later she handed Darren a set of papers. Asterisk, what's this? Asterisk, a down payment approval for a house. I used my VA benefits. It's in all our names. Darren was stunned. Do that for us? Asterisk, Kara smiled. You turned the truck around for me? I'm just finishing the route. They moved into a 3-bedroom fixer-upper with a leaky faucet and a huge backyard. Asterisk. It was perfect. 6 months later, on a quiet summer evening, Darren knelt on the porch steps and offered her a ring. Asterisk, it wasn't fancy, but it was wrapped. In a ribbon, Theo had picked. Mila recorded the moment on her mom's old phone. Kara didn't say yes. She said finally. Final message. Some rescues don't look like explosions or choppers in the sky. Sometimes they look like a truck stopping in the rain, a warm kitchen, a kid with a crayon drawing of a new beginning. Asterisk sometimes. Saving someone means simply telling them, asterisk, you don't have to walk this road alone. And sometimes, the one who was rescued them's the one who saves everyone else.